Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So I kind of can't believe I'm making a video about this, or even really about to say this, but I think the Warriors Dynasty is done, and more specifically, I think the Splash Brothers are done, in Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry. We live in an NBA, or a time in the NBA where three-point shooting is at an abundance in the NBA. And when I look at this Warriors team, they have plenty of shooting. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Dario Saric, Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski. Even Draymond Green is shooting the three at 46%, which is fucking insane. But Draymond Green's out here, with the strap from three. The problem is Steph Curry is the only one on this team truly balling, and everybody else is just kind of going along for the ride. Stephen Curry is playing at an MVP level, as expected, as he always does. He's scoring 29.5 points a game on 4.5 assists, essentially, at 4.3, and 5 rebounds a game at 5.1. He's played 17 games, started all 17 games, but the problem is after that, everybody else falls off a cliff. Klay Thompson is playing like shit in a contract year. He's shooting 40% from the field, 36% from three on 15.5 a game. You need to get more out of your number two than that. He's 33 years old. He's averaging 2.3 assists, 3.7 rebounds, but he's playing like shit. Andrew Wiggins, a guy that was, really, really good for them last year, almost a staple for them on like the defensive end, like almost being almost a 3-and-D type of guy, or one of their main staples on defense. He's played like shit, 43% from the field, 26% from three, 59% from the free throw line on, basically 13 points a game, less than 13, 12.8, 1.2 assists, 4.4 rebounds. I mean, Andrew Wiggins has been fucking abysmal for them, and so has Klay Thompson. Jonathan Kuminga has been all right. I mean, he's been typical Jonathan Kuminga. Dario Saric has been nice for them. Moses Moody's been nice for them. Brandon Podziemski has been very nice for them. Even Draymond Green has been pretty good for them when he has played. He's played 11 games, started 11 games. He's just getting off a 5-game suspension, but he's shooting 47% from the field, 46% from three, and 86% from the free throw line. Those are pretty damn good numbers for Draymond Green, especially when he's averaging 9 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. It sucks though, because I think this team is done. Gary Payton II is out for probably out for the entire season. He tore his right calf, and Klay Thompson simply wants money that he's not going to get. And that's why I think this is all heading downhill very, very fast. Klay Thompson saw Jordan Poole get paid. He saw Draymond Green get paid. He saw Andrew Wiggins get paid. And now Klay Thompson's looking at ownership like, what about me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of the longest tenured Warriors here, and you're, not paying me what I want. And I've been saying this now. I've been beating this drum for about a year now that, shooting in the NBA, there's an abundance of it, okay? We got centers shooting fucking threes now. The days of paying shooters anywhere from $70 to $100 million are over. You know what I'm saying? It's over. You're never going to see a shooter, unless you're Stephen Curry level, get a max contract ever again. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. You have to do more than just hit catch and shoot threes in the NBA to command anywhere from $70 to $100 million. Okay? Now, yes, Buddy Hield is better. Buddy Hield can shoot threes off the dribble. He's great, but that's all he's good at is shooting threes. If all you are good at is shooting threes in the NBA, the days of you making $70 to $100 million are over. And the reason for that is because you can find shooting in the draft these days, you can find shooting in free agency, and you don't have to pay you don't even have to pay $60 to $100 million for it. Okay, Joe Harris is out there. Joe Harris is not what he used to be, okay? But he can still shoot a three. Evan Fournier, Reggie Bullock, Grady Dick, who was just drafted, Gary Trent Jr., who's also on the Raptors. Luke Kennard had the highest three-point shooting percentage in the NBA last year at, I think 45 or 47%. Nobody's paying Luke Kennard $70 to $100 million. You know what I'm saying? There's so many guys that shoot threes that it's fucking insane. Alec Burks of the Detroit Pistons. Like, I can go on, man. There's just so many fucking guys in the league that shoot threes that, like, I don't know where these dudes are pulling these numbers from. That, like, yeah, I'm worth $80 to $100 million. I'm worth $70 to $100 million. But, like, Max Strus, you know what I'm saying? Like, every year the Miami Heat find dudes who go undrafted that can shoot a fucking three. You know, first it was Duncan Robinson, and I think Max Strus got drafted, but I know Duncan Robinson was a D3 guy. You know, that they signed an undrafted free agent. Josh Richardson, you know, Doug McDermott shoots a fucking three. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he plays for the Spurs. Like, there's so many guys who shoot threes and shoot the three shot well that, you know, just because you feel like you're a special player doesn't mean you're gonna get paid that type of money. And I think guys like Klay Thompson and Buddy Hield need to figure that the fuck out, because the fact of the matter is, the Warriors are in a situation where they can let Klay Thompson walk in free agency this year for nothing, and they will still be fine with Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody on their roster. And I get why Warriors fans maybe want to pay Klay Thompson, because he's been there for so long, and you know, just the idea of just him being a part of the teams all these years and winning 4 NBA championships with Steph Curry and Draymond. I get that. But the fact of the matter is, the Warriors, I have a feeling they're going to try to trade Klay Thompson at the trade deadline. They're not going to be able to do it. And the fact of the matter is, Klay Thompson's going to go into unrestricted free agency, as will Buddy Hield this offseason. And they're going to realize that the market for them is not as ludicrous as they thought it was. You know, because the fact of the matter is, you can find shooting anywhere. And you know, it's sad to say that the Warriors dynasty is pretty much over, but they're not playing well. I mean, like, even as a team, they're not playing defense well. They're not playing offense super great. Like, their offensive rating is 12th in the NBA. Their defensive rating is 17th. Their net rating is 17th. And an opponent points per game, they're giving up 114.5 points per game, which is good enough for 19th out of 30 teams. So, I don't know, man. You know what? It sucks that this is, you know, that the Golden State Warriors are kind of going out sad. But the good news is, out of all of this, is like, even Chris Paul's not playing well for them. Chris Paul is shooting like 40% from the field, 32% from three. He is averaging 1.5 steals a game on basically 9 and 7, which isn't bad for a backup point guard. 92% from the free throw line is really nice. But the fact of the matter is, I think you're going to see some really, really big changes coming to the Warriors within the next year or two. More likely sooner rather than later, because I think they would like to capitalize on whatever prime Stephen Curry has left. But the fact of the matter is, I think they're going to try to move Klay Thompson at the trade deadline. If they can't, they're just going to let him walk in free agency. So that's $43 million off your books. And Chris Paul, he has a $30 million contract for this year and next year, but it's not fully guaranteed. So they might live with Chris Paul this year. But then next season, they're probably going to cut him, so they only have to pay him $15.8 million fully guaranteed, and that's going to be the end of Chris Paul's career. He's going to retire a Warrior, or they'll cut him, one of the two. But it's just the idea, the Warriors roster does not look good at the moment. Obviously, all of this is subject to maybe change if Klay Thompson eventually starts playing basketball again, and same thing with Andrew Wiggins. But the fact of the matter is, this team right now is not looking good, and it looks like their championship window has officially closed. The only way that I think it reopens is if Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins suddenly start playing out of their fucking minds again, which is a possibility. You know, I'm not ruling it out, but, you know, all signs point to, you know, Klay Thompson's getting older. Andrew Wiggins starting to show signs of old Andrew Wiggins, a guy who's pretty much a shot chucker, and, you know, it sucks because I have Andrew Wiggins on my fantasy team. But yeah, things don't look good for the Warriors at the moment, and I have a feeling there's going to be a serious retool coming with this team. It would be nice to see them maybe get in on the DeMar DeRozan thing or the Zach LaVine rumors, but I just don't think they're going to. Zach LaVine's very good, but he doesn't play defense. You know, and honestly, the Warriors are probably looking for a guy who can shoot threes and play defense. But I have a feeling the Warriors are going to try to maybe, you know, trade Klay or for someone. Maybe you can finesse the Minnesota Timberwolves out of Karl Anthony Towns in some way, shape, or form. I kind of doubt it, but because they're number one in the West, and I kind of doubt they're going to give Stephen Curry Karl Anthony Towns. But there's going to be guys out there on the trade block come the trade deadline. I can't think of any guys off the top of my head immediately. But yeah, the Warriors are... I have a feeling they're going to make some serious roster changes come the trade deadline, especially with Klay Thompson. Maybe even Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins has got 4 years left on his deal. He's 28. Maybe they move off of him if he's not playing better. I mean, that's more unlikely than it is likely, but I think Klay Thompson trade rumors come the trade deadline is definitely going to happen, especially since the two sides can't seem to come to a conclusion on a number. And the idea that he's playing like ass in a contract year, yeah, I think the Golden State Warriors are going to move on from Klay Thompson or attempt to at the trade deadline. So anyway, guys, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.